Alabama life insurance exam. How long must an applicant who fails 2 examinations for the same line of authority wait to take another examination for that line of authority? 3 months. What is it called when an insurance company sells part of their risk to another insurance company? Reinsurance, also, risk sharing. Group insurance market. A certificate of insurance is issued to whom? Each individual covered by the group life insurance. Describe the term reserve. That amount that, when increased by future premiums on outstanding policies, and interest on this premiums will enable the company to meet future death claims. A Taft-Hartley trust is established by one or more labor unions or associations. The policy conditions represent the obligation of whom? Both the insured and the insurer. What does a split dollar plan do? A split dollar plan divides the cost of additional insurance for an employee between that employee and the company. If death occurs while employed, the death benefit is shared between the employer and the employee's beneficiary. If an annuitant withdraws funds from their annuity prior to age 59 and a half, what is the tax consequence? Tax and 10% penalty tax on the withdrawal that represents earnings. The extended term non-forfeiture option provides paid-up term coverage equal to that of the original policy. What qualifying event could initiate the accelerated benefits provision or rider of a life policy? A condition that is terminal, projected to die within 1 or 2 years. Which clause allows the insured to change an existing policy to any other policy of any type as long as the new policy has a higher premium, without any proof of insurability? Privilege of change clause. What is the minimum requirement for currently insured status under the Social Security system? At least 6 credits earned in the 13 calendar quarters prior to death, disability, or is entitled to retirement benefits. At what age does the waiver of premium rider normally expire? 60. What are the essential elements of a contract? Remember the acronym CLOC: consideration, offer and acceptance, competent parties, and legal purpose. In a whole life insurance policy, when is the cash value at its greatest? At the end of the policy term. What are non-financial regulatory activities known as? Market conduct. Does social insurance provide equal benefits to all citizens that contribute? No. As income is redistributed through the governmental system, insureds who put less into the system, such as the poor, elderly, and those with dependents, get proportionately greater benefits. With a collateral assignment of a life policy to a creditor, you assign a partial amount of the policy values to the creditor. An insured allows a permanent policy to lapse unless otherwise instructed. What will the insurance company do? The insurance company will automatically institute the extended term option. Who owns a mutual company? A mutual company is mutually owned by its policy holders, therefore, there are no stockholders. What can the cash value of a permanent life insurance policy be used for? Cash values can be used as non-forfeiture option, policy loans, full or partial surrenders, but not for accidental death benefits. What is the primary purpose of a Section 303 redemption? To provide liquidity to pay estate taxes and administration and funeral costs. In Alabama, who appoints the Commissioner of Insurance? The Governor. How long is the probationary period for group life insurance? The probationary period is usually 90 days. What market is a private source of coverage of last resort for individuals or businesses that have been rejected by voluntary market insurers? The residual marketplace. When a producer receives an application for life insurance that is completed and signed, but without premium payment, when does coverage start? On the date the policy is delivered and premium collected. Assets in a separate account are valued at their market value on the date of valuation. Can an annuity contract be exchanged for a life contract under Section 1035 policy exchange? No, an annuity contract can only be exchanged for another annuity contract under IRC Section 1035 exchange rules. What type of annuity guarantees to pay total income at least equal to the purchase price of the contract? A refund life annuity. When the cash value account of a universal life policy reaches zero, what will happen if the policy owner does not make a premium payment? The policy goes into the grace period. An accounting measure used to determine a contract owner's interest in the separate account of a variable annuity before payments begin is called an accumulation unit. In determining whether disability is permanent, most companies call for a waiting period of how long? 3 to 6 months. How are premiums generally calculated by insurers? Insurers generally calculate premiums on an annual basis, and then prorate according to the mode selected. The more frequent the premium, the more overall the cost. In a whole life insurance policy, when is the insurance protection at its greatest? The insurance protection is greatest at the start of a policy. At the start, a whole life policy is all insurance protection. The policy begins to build cash value. The cash value eventually equals the death benefit when the policy endows. Therefore, the cash value is its greatest at the end of the policy term. The principal difference between an entity purchase and a cross-purchase buy-sell agreement is the identity of the policy owner. The main difference is who owns the policy. What must a mutual company have in order to be able to start operations? To be approved to start operations, a mutual company must have a minimum number of applications for insurance, the advanced premium payment for each application, and a minimum surplus.